What's going on? How's everybody doing? Today I figured I would do some live video recording. I am out here doing some hand-forged Damascus. Got a couple of billets in the forge currently heating up and getting ready to pull them out and start beating on them. So figured I would just throw this on and hopefully somebody will pop up on here and say, hey, my name is Matt. I do a lot of different knife making projects here on my channel. Started out with kind of stock removal stuff and gradually worked towards forging more. So yeah, haven't really ever done hand forged Damascus yet. So it's something new for me. There's 100 different ways it could go wrong. Hoping that it won't, so we'll see how it goes. But anyway, yeah, just thought I would throw it on, and if you happen to come on, just throw a comment, say hey, and we'll see where this takes us. Hopefully you'll be able to see decently. So yeah, just kind of waiting for the billets to warm up some, and once we get them up to temperature, I'm going to pull them out and we're going to start smushing some metal. Yeah. Now I've got these Damascus billets forge welded together around the top, the middle, and the bottom. I've already went ahead and done one round. What's up, Shirley? In a world in which witches watch watches, if two witches had two watches, which witch would watch which watch? I love it. Very cool. That's a good question. Which witch would watch which watch? It's like, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could even chuck wood? I don't even know if they do chuck wood. But if they did, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck? Probably a lot. Not many people can say it. Yeah, I agree. That is a mouthful. That is a mouthful. Well, glad to have you here, Shirley. What are you up to today? I'm out here trying to make some hand-forged Damascus. Definitely new at this. I've been doing knife making for about a year and do a lot of stock removal. I make knives out of metal files, you know, coil springs, leaf springs, and then I kind of gradually got into hand forging out knives and blades and stuff. Fire Skelly, name a car for an edit. Name a car for an edit. How about a Cadillac? Cadillacs are cool. I'm on break from my welding job. Right on. It's always good to get a break from welding. That's what I do for a living. Definitely don't want to be under the hood all 8 or 10 hours of the day. You ever fart so hard that you threw your back out? No, but I sneezed one time and hurt my back. That's a good one. All right, these are almost up to forge welding temps, so you know, we're almost there. A lot of fart and diarrhea jokes going on in the comments. I like it. That's good stuff. You can never go wrong with a good fart joke or a good topic about diarrhea. Really good stuff. How do you clean diarrhea? Yeah. Tissue paper? Maybe? Depends on where you go, I suppose. If you're in the woods, then maybe you just leave it. This guy's going places. I was the original. Stop playing. All right, my people, welcome, welcome, my people. We're gonna start banging out some of these billets here in the forge. Yeah, luckily it's not gonna be too hot today. Oh, hey, what's up? My dude's on here. What's up, brother? Bandem out dog. Bang, bang. What's up, little bro? Got my little brother on here coming to say hey. I am looking forward to seeing you, dude. My brother and my other brother and my mom are headed up here to come kick it for a minute. I like your eyes. I am from Marietas. Malay Chow. Well, thank you. Some people tell me I got like a lazy eye. Can you see it? One of them's lazy. Depends on the day. Then sometimes I got two lazy eyes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and probably pull out this first one and start hitting it. I got some jack, I got some Damascus here in the forge. My first attempt at finally getting around to hand forging some Damascus, so fingers crossed, hopefully it'll go good. Back in the forge we go. Yeah, the first few heats you really want to try to hit it pretty soft, pretty quick. You're not trying to stay outside of the forge for very long. That way you can give it a couple of good hits, get it back into the heat, and hopefully get some of the forge welding process to actually begin to happen. A lot of the process actually starts inside the heat. Once it gets up to a certain temperature, you're looking for the crystal structure and boundaries to kind of cross in between pieces. Not really melting, but kind of almost there. So yeah, anyway, let me go ahead and get this other one out. Get this back in the forge. Yeah, so anyway, what are you guys up to today? Let me know down in the comments, and always interested what people do on a Sunday, typically somebody's day off. This is what I like to do. So yeah, let me know. I've just got a single burner forge, and it's just big enough to where I can fit a couple different billets in there at once. So I figured by doing 2 separate billets and working on each one at a time, I could make up more ground instead of trying to forge out one very large billet. My brother says, I like to go to my brother's and do some shenanigans. I love it, man. Doing some shenanigans, dog! Yeah, this is weird going live. It's kind of new for me, but it does really well on for the whole YouTube thing. It brings in more of a wider range of audience members. I noticed the last couple times I went live, I got 20 something subscribers from like 20 minutes of just doing this, just putting it on while I work. So it's kind of cool. You know, it used to be YouTube was kind of, you know, it started out with longer format videos, and then for a while there, they were really pushing shorts to do, you know, short content videos. And now it seems like the lives, a lot of people are doing that and have pretty good success with going live. So for those just tuning in, we have a couple of billets in this little single burner forge in my backyard next to my lawnmower shed. This is my little corner of the world over here. So this is my backyard. Got represent Frenchy's Forge. That's me. I'm the French man. I'm only like maybe a third French, but we're gonna go with it. And yeah, the little corner of the backyard here, got the table where I got my forge set up, and then you know, anvil and some other stuff over here. But this, if I'm back here, I'm having a good day. If I have time to be back here, then I'm doing something right. Sorry for the shaky camera there. All right, let's go ahead and pull these back out. We're gonna give them another slight tap and quickly get them back in. So yeah, that's really kind of the name of the game for this stage, is you really want to get them out quickly, hit them quickly, and put them back in so they don't lose their heat. Are you guys on your way, Jack? Who else is up in here? If you're in here, say hello, tell me your name, tell me what you're up to today. I'll be right back. And I lost everybody. They're like, oh, he's leaving. We're out of here, man. Thanks. That's all right. We'll hang out for a little bit, see if anybody else comes back in here. I'm pretty sure that the person, there's like a thing on my screen, so it tells you how many people are watching you. I've got one, which is probably my brother. Or maybe he was even tired of me. Maybe he's like, hey, I'm going to be there in 2 hours. I don't need to hear him or see him yet. I'm on my way. Maybe it's somebody else. But if you're in here, then drop a comment in there. Say hello. Tell me what your name is. Tell me what you're up to today. This is kind of a cool thing too that I've been doing whenever I'm forging and we're getting close. I have my gloves covered in water just because things get hot, and sometimes you can squeeze water out onto the top of the anvil, and as you're forging, that little bit of water helps pop off the forge scale, which is really cool because you're really trying to avoid having any forge scale on there. So it's kind of a cool little tip and a trick, and I pick up little tips and tricks like that, you know, as I go. Maybe every couple of weeks or so I pick up a new tip or trick. It's something that I didn't think about that really helps out. That's the latest one that I picked up. Forge is definitely good and hot now. I waited about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes or so before I even started. That helps the forge get up to temperature and really makes it more successful. If you try to start forge welding before it's time, a lot of bad things can happen. So you got to really be patient and wait for the material to heat up. And it depends on the type of welding that you're doing. If you have a fully enclosed or encased billet like I have, then you don't necessarily have to worry about the atmosphere. But if you don't forge weld all the seams up, then you got to really pay attention and make sure that it's a gas-rich environment and that you're burning up all the oxygen, or else it can get sucked in between the layers and create forge scale. Luckily, it's not too hot out here today. It's probably 78, 79, 80, something like that. So it's actually not too bad yet. trying to cool down the rebar. I always think that it's going to be long enough, and for the most part they are. They're like 2 feet long, but man, they get really hot pretty quick. Gotta wear gloves. I've seen other people do it in a different way, which I might try next time. They weld like a little piece of rebar to the end of their billet, and then that way they can use, you know, a set of tongs like this, something round, and that will definitely keep the tongs away from the fire so they don't get as hot. That's all right. You live and you learn. Zari says, "What's cooking, OG?" What's up, Zari? Not a whole lot, man. Sunday, enjoying the good weather. I'm out here in the backyard trying my hand at some hand-forged Damascus. It's my first really attempt at trying to make some. What's up, Duck? Yeah, see if we get some people up in here. If you guys don't know Duck Rabbit, he's got a channel as well. He does some really cool stuff. Him and I kind of met through YouTube. He also follows somebody else that him and I watch. His name's Eric at the Rivers Experience, so we see each other a lot in there. But yeah, if you haven't heard of Duck Rabbit, go check him out. He's got some pretty cool videos. He makes knives and different blacksmithing and yeah, mainly blacksmithing and knife stuff, but he's got some cool stuff out there. Yeah, so we're out here trying my hand at some pattern welded steel. AKA Damascus. I believe it's pronounced Damascus. Not really, but you know. I'm out in the shop working on a slip joint. Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, Duck, I haven't really seen you post a whole lot lately. You still planning on posting some knife builds and whatnot? What's cooking, OG? Yeah, Zari, what are you up to, my dude? Duck says, yeah, I'll be doing a video soon, hopefully. Nice. Yeah, I always like watching other people, you know, you can really pick up different ways of doing things from watching somebody else do something. Most of my great ideas come from watching somebody else do it. Definitely not original ideas, but it's good to be able to watch somebody else that does what you're doing, and yeah, you pick up good ways to do things or bad ways to do things. I've done some not so great things here on the channel, some ways of doing things that weren't the best, but that's part of the process. You live and you learn. I've been out of the shop for over a month. Yeah, that's a long time. I know you said you were sick. I remember you saying something about that, like allergies or some sort of sickness or something. That's never fun. Yeah, so really at this stage in the game, I'm still trying to kind of do, I've gone from light hits, and now we're going to start stepping up the strength of each hit. I didn't really have to worry about them sticking together because I welded all of the seams. I tried one about 6 months ago and I didn't do that. I used borax and I got it to forge weld, but it had quite a few little inclusions here and there, and I put a lot of work into that thing, and it really sucks when you get to the end and you find those little areas that it didn't forge weld in. So I'm trying this method out and seeing how it's gonna go. An ear infection, yeah dude, that stinks. Oh yeah, that's right. You're still in school, aren't you? What grade are you? Are you in high school or are you going to college, or can't remember how old you are. I know you were younger. Yeah, so we got a pretty good solid color on this. So that's a pretty good indication that we're all sticking to one another, which is good. I'm going into 12th, so he's a senior in high school. Okay, right on. You're gonna be king of the crop at the big dog school, right? What kind of stuff do you do besides forging? You play any sports or do any clubs, or what are your other things that you like to do? He's only got one class all day for the first quarter. Nice, dude. That's just forging, right on. Yeah, that's a lot of people seem to be doing that. You know, back when I went to school, there really wasn't a whole lot of that stuff where you could finish out like senior year with taking a couple credits. I mean, maybe a little bit, but that's becoming more popular nowadays, where kids, you know, get credits during summer school, or they get more credits for 1 year than they normally would, and then they don't have to go all year as a senior. I hear a lot of people doing that. Yeah, I brought out a couple of blades just to show. This is one of the last ones that I did. Made this out of a wrench. Let's see. Actually still have the other part to that wrench, so this was pretty much like this. And these two pieces here were the other two wrench ends. And this thing's different. I don't know. I mean, I like it. I really, I pretty much got this thing to do what I wanted it to do. I had the envision in my brain, and it pretty much came out pretty good for the most part. Definitely a cool profile. Has like a nice sweep up at the end, and then the handle kind of sweeps down, so it's kind of neat. Here's another one that I've done. This is a while ago, but this is the dagger that I made out of a metal file. A lot of people like this one. It's pretty cool. And then I've got the YouTube Knife Makers Challenge knife, the Viking Sax. You might be able to see the Hamon line in it there. That one was actually done with lemon juice. I've done them in the past. You can see it travel in there. I've done them in the past with other things, but I tried the lemon juice out on this one, and really worked out pretty good. It's a cool blade. And then this is one that I've got in the works right now. It's just going to be like a Tonto style blade with a little wooden scabbard. So I'm still kind of in the middle of trimming off all this wood and fitting it up and stuff, but this one should be pretty cool. The grain of the wood's really quite pretty. Yeah, so anyway, I've never watched a dude cut his finger off on live till now. Oh man. Hopefully you're not forecasting my future. Hopefully you meant you just got out of one that you saw somebody cut his finger off. That would stink. And to do it live, that would be quite the predicament. For those who are in the chat now, you guys missed a good opening segue into conversation. The first few people that were in here, somehow it went from farting until you blew your back out to cleaning up diarrhea. It's a really good conversation. You guys missed out, I'm telling you. Yeah, I can't tell if these are getting any smaller. I don't feel like they are. That's one thing you gotta love about hand forging. I feel like it takes forever. Nice, nice. Yeah, I like the conversations that go on in Eric's lives. Sometimes they go down the rabbit hole, which can be pretty fun. Mr. Goodcat, we doing some bladesmithing? Yes, indeed we are. Trying to hand forge some pattern welded steel. I was telling these guys earlier, I'm somewhat new to it, so trying to figure it out as we go along. I say new to it, I've been doing it, I guess, over a year now, a little over a year, so I kind of got the basics down, just never, pulled the trigger on actually trying to hand forge. It's just a lot of work, and for the first year I did a lot of like stock removal knives and making knives out of files and practicing the finish work and that sort of thing. So lately though, I've been getting more into forging. Yeah, I definitely need to swing the hammer harder, that's for sure. I like to try to pace myself, and this thing is heavy, Someone asked me the other day, why don't you know you're supposed to swing a hammer down here? Yes, I do know that, but doing it down here all day long or for at least a couple hours, man, does it wear you out. So at least for this size hammer, I like to choke up on it and get a little bit more control. Yeah, watch. I'll show you here when I pull, hold it down here. I do still have decent control, but it's pretty heavy. It's a 5 pound. I guess you can tell when they're side by side. I always just am nervous when I hold the thing down there, towards the end of the handle, of hitting it wrong, because I think it's better to be accurate than to hit it hard, and that's something you just got to practice at. And yes, I agree, you do have much better control without a glove. I was telling them earlier, Duck, I welded on some rebar onto the ends of the billets here, and they're about 2 foot, so I was thinking that was going to be enough to where it wouldn't get as hot, but they are hot. So I think next time what I'm going to do is just weld on a small piece of rebar and probably just end up using something like this, and then that way it won't be so stinking hot. Hand forging Damascus is a lot of work. You bet your booty whack it is. Booty whack? Yeah. I'm the PG guy, man. I got kids. Booty whack's about as vulgar as I'm gonna get, man. Your booty whack's whack, bro. Yeah, 2 foot ain't enough. No, it's not. Yeah, I for whatever reason, I need to knock this handle off of here and put a good wooden handle, but you can tell this thing is super ate up. And last time I Got a pretty good blister, so I keep the glove on, I guess. I don't want to hurt my soft little hands. Boo! How dare you talk about my booty whack? You booty whack's whack, bro. Yeah, so I can tell they're starting to get squished a little bit. Anyway, how long have we been on here? For almost 45 minutes. Yeah, soft little welder hands. Yeah, definitely not. I got some pretty rough hands. They're actually clean today. But yeah, metal fabricating and working with metal 24/7, I've got some really rough hands and still got a massive blister right here. My hands are like 1960s leather. Very, very thick, but yeah. Gotta protect the phalanges and the palms or whatever they are. Anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by and saying hey. I've got a lot of stuff to do today. You got any munchkins old enough? Dude, yes I do. I've got two. And actually asked them to come out here and swing the hammer. Well, I don't want to be on YouTube, Dad. It's like, okay, there's like, what? There's 4 people in here watching us. They don't want to be watched by 4 random strangers, Dad. But I do have a couple of my brothers coming over, so I might hit the pause button and wait for them to come bring the muscles. I'm probably going to go ahead and end the live here soon. I've got a lot of stuff to do today. My 2 brothers and my mom are on their way over. They're picking up my grandpa's car. And I think they're going to hang for a little bit as well, which is cool. They live a couple hours away, so I just had a little bit of time before they get here to do some of this. So I always like to throw it up on the live, you know, when I'm forging. It's kind of cool to see who hops on and says hey. Anyway, yeah, thanks everybody for coming and saying hey. Much appreciated. If you like the forging stuff, come check out the channel. I've got some other videos posted up there. I try to make regular content. I'm not always deadly accurate with the timing, but I've got a pretty busy life. Got the 3 kids, the wife, the job, sometimes another job. Got a lot of stuff going on, but anyway, I'll definitely look forward to interacting with you guys again. If you see me go live again, stop back and say hey, and yeah, see you guys in the comments. Appreciate you coming and hanging out with ya boy, the Frenchman. Ya boy, the Frenchman, signing out. See y'all later. If I knew how to end this thing, I would end it. I'm a metal fabricator, not a tech guy.